Gods and goddesses in training, welcome back to the channel. It is Uncle Makara. All relations. Today I'm out in the park and I'm feeling very rounded, very relaxed, and I wanted to speak today about how being primal, connecting to the material, is going to be way more important for you on your spiritual path than starting out in the spiritual realms, jumping into the metaphysical. You know, I used to be a crown chakra seeker and seek for more so an escape from samsara, okay? I would treat this physical realm as lower than the spiritual. I would pedestalize spirituality. I would put it up on a very high pinnacle tower, and physicality connecting to the earth would be completely underrated, overlooked, and not given enough credence, importance, and value. So what I want to really speak about today is this concept. I got this concept from Ellie. Thank you so much, babe. When you do something nice for someone, like you help an old lady with her groceries or to cross the road, for instance, or you help somebody with some kind of a project that they have, right? And you give them some advice or something like this, right? Or let's say that somebody doesn't have the same level of physical strength as you and you help somebody carry something upstairs. Or it could just be as simple as the delivery person who's coming over to give you your order, you give them a glass of water, right? So little acts of kindness like this, and positive psychology, it was huge on this acts of kindness thing, really starts to stack and create ripples into the metaphysical realm. Now, of course, I'm not saying that don't meditate, don't take care of yourself, don't shower. That's not what I'm saying, right? In fact, you've got to shower if you want to actually maintain that cleanliness, right? In fact, in a lot of the Vedic information, it tells you take a shower before your sadhana, before your chanting, and so forth, right? So this was the idea today, where I get you guys to really ponder on how am I being able to interact with the physical world, not just the metaphysical, okay? So how are your spirit guides showing up? For instance, I went to the gym today and the guy said that I had my gym membership. I had to renew it, but I left my wallet at home, right? And he said, that's fine, you just pay it tomorrow, right? And that little act of kindness, it helped me to get in my workout today, to allow myself to make changes in the physical world, which obviously, now that I've changed my nervous system by going to the gym, I'm gonna feel way better, right? So he did me a very big favor, and that's not really common. In big gyms around the world, not really common, right? Yeah, come back tomorrow, buddy, right? You go to New York or somewhere, yeah, whatever, right? What do you mean you can't pay, right? Okay, so, but instead, that gratitude, right? That gratitude. I think gratitude is the emotion that can melt any other negative valence state, okay? So even if somebody's being angry at you and you thank them for their anger, how are they supposed to respond? You completely baffle them out of their chaos mode, right? So gratitude is a chaos disruptor. And once you start to really understand this, it starts to cause such an impact in your life. Such an impact, right? And it's amazing when we can sit down and actually reflect for the fact that we are the priest or the priestess beasts. We've said it on this channel many times. We are the flow Jedis. We're not the Sith. We're not the Jedis. We are the gray. We are the gray mages that sit in the center point, the middle path, the Asura Devas, the Nagarudas, the ones that understand that the ascended masters are fully in perfection, love, and light. They're in that consciousness that does not need hate or that fuck you energy. However, at the same time, we recognize in our earthly realms, we do have that defiance, that tendency to say, hell no, to something, right? And so when we combine this fierce compassion, when we get this tender aggressiveness, when we understand how to merge our polarities and function at our optimal, we become flow state shapeshifters. We become fully integrated. So on this path, you will be challenged. You will be thrown off course. There'll be way too many side quests, but remember to bring it back to the primal. In the energy system of the chakra system, it starts with the root, correct? It starts with the foundation, your survival. So if you can't even pay your bills, right? Why are you having daydreams about the Akashic records? Get back into touch with your primal nature again. Be out in nature. This is so important for me to do this today. In fact, when I told Ellie the idea, her time in Europe was 11:11, okay? Activate Primal Sutra Nexus. You see, you have a vision in your mind's eye that's telling you exactly what you need to do, okay? And some people won't believe you, okay? Whatever, dude, you're not a god, you're not an alien, whatever, right? They'll ignore you. In fact, they might think you're absolutely insane. However, what's more insane? Living in a loop? Living in a similar pattern? Or exceeding your own loops? Transcending those false traps that keep you stuck, right? I knew I'd made a massive shift yesterday when even when I had a little piece of junk food, myself told me, this is valid. This is valid for right now. You do need this junk food. And in fact, this is gonna allow you to let go of the resistance towards junk food by actually sitting with it and enjoying it and savoring it, not rushing and getting a lot of ice cream, but a small little candy that tastes so good. And you can nurture it, you can savor it, you can take your time with it instead of just rushing to the end of the finish line, rushing to the end of the movie, right? Fast forwarding through this play that you're on. Instead, why don't you try exploring how you can make an impact on a grassroots level for your own community, for what you can do for right now, right? I'm in Kolkata, I love to travel, but I'm here to give value to my people, to my motherland, where all the great poets and holy men have stood here and understood their different codes to this thing. It's so interesting how Rabindranath Tagore had the same birthday as the Buddha. I find that fascinating too. But irregardless, I have a lot of relationship with these higher beings, let's just say. I think I've known them for a very long time. Not when I was super young, I was completely clout chasing, completely like, let me get the latest Supreme, let me get the latest Givenchy, let me get the latest Gucci. I was into that, man. I was into that materialistic trap, that over-consumptive nature. Nowadays I make purchases, but they're purposeful. They're intentional. In fact, a purchase today will last me a lot longer on how I'll use that product, rather than years ago where I just buy clothes and just throw them away. So that complete disrespect for the material, for the people who had to work so hard, right, to make those clothes, to design it perfectly, to give a life, a brand, a vision into this one piece of clothing. So the fact that you're ungrateful, the fact that you're like, yeah, whatever, man, I'll deal with this stuff later, after I do my prayer or whatever. But this stuff matters. These little things matter. If you learn to reconnect with the material, okay? I'm tapping into Haru's energy already. I know there's gonna be birds around all right? Hey, shout out to Haru. Haru consciousness, let's go. 2 for joy, right? 2 birds for joy. Today I'd invoked Hanuman in the gym. And I had all these younger dudes look at me. Just keep looking at me. Keep looking at me. Do something else, keep looking. Do something else, keep looking at me. Do another set, keep looking at me, right? Now this energy that is being generated, right? It's an energetic thing all the time. So even if you think you're doing something really mundane, like, yeah, man, I'm just cooking some noodles, that process of you putting together the ingredients, you cooking the noodles, you putting in that effort is showing up as an energy. And that energy is directly being read by this invisible world, by the spiritual, right? So don't think that I have to be spiritual. Everything is spiritual. Everything is spiritual, okay? Don't just classify like this particular practice that I'm doing from this ancient sage from 1997 is such an incredible process, and I do it every time, and now you're just posturing yourself. You see what I'm saying? You're just posturing yourself as like, I'm the expert in this one technique. Oh, la-di-da, okay? Let's not be like these pretentious spiritual people. Let's actually create something authentic. Let's create a community of vibration that we can actually step into and work through. And not this kind of, trend hopping. Let's just do the cacao ceremony and the ayahuasca, bro. Okay, fine. You go and do that. And that may be aligning with some of us. Is it shamanic initiation when it's been televised and promulgated and on your social media? So here's the real kicker, right? When we start to understand ourselves greater than we actually are, we start to see ourselves in our greatest light, how we are around our friends, how we are around our families, how we manage and maintain certain things. Even as a peak performance coach, I was recently going through a lot of stress, And that's absolutely valid because I'm a human in this human experience. Why wouldn't I be going through stress? But there's eustress, good type of stress, right? And then there's de-stress, which is very ineffective, gets you to burnout. And sometimes, comes through deficiencies of different vitamins and stuff like this too. Be aware of your energy hygiene, but at the same time, stay connected. Stay connected to the material world. Help someone out in the material world. These people that keep asking you for money and never pay you back? The thing is, if you give them money, you say to them, listen, this is a gift from me to you. You don't have to pay me back, but don't ask me for money again. All right, that's how you handle it. Otherwise, they're just gonna keep you in this loop. How many more free passes are you gonna give people? That's the thing, right? How many more free passes are you gonna hand over? Someone has made the same mistake over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, and they haven't been punished for it. They haven't seen the wrongness of their ways. And so, of course, there's going to be a disconnection, a complete disassociation. like, I don't want to deal with this. Let me just go escape to my fantasies again. That's most spiritual people. I don't want to deal with the real world, so I'm going to create a little echo chamber for myself. Now, I'm not saying go and create your own reality. That's absolutely valid. Go and create your own reality. Do what you are here to do. But don't think for a second that I am more spiritual based on, me living next to a temple or something. Okay? That does not define my spirituality. In fact, it confines it. You guys see that? It confines it. It puts it into a box, not fully able to play and thrive in that. The cool thing about spirituality is that there's a huge ocean of it, right? This is why I love being an omnist, because I get to see the truth in all schools of thought, all religions, all belief systems, and then come back to my mystic ways. There's something very spiritual about putting lotion on your body, or just, doing something very regular. And once I've been able to see the eros in the mundane, understand the magic in the ordinary, there's a different kind of energy there that takes you, right? You're not like, oh, I gotta go see my parents again. Are you kidding me? Oh, man, right? Instead of that, you're kind of like, I wonder what kind of nonsense and shenanigans there will be this time. Bring it on, right? And that attitude of acceptance, of embracing, not shutting things down, not resisting things, not being so caught up and stubborn in our own ways. As an adult, we get so caught up and stubborn in our own ways. It has to be like this. It has to be like this. No, you choose it to be like that, in fact. You get to have the opportunity to change your reality and make it exactly how you want. So don't for a second think that if you were not understanding your own process, that you can become the type of person that you truly prefer. So this is why we spend so much time in this character development space, okay? Because we understand that the character is eternal. It is the present moment. It is eternitas. It is the now ever. And that presence, if you can capture that, capture the present moment, something shifts, something will evolve in that silence, in this state. So as I close my eyes, tune into my physical body, I notice a little bit of sweat. I notice a little bit of itchiness. I notice little subtle gestures, or like maybe it's my telepathic ear chakra is buzzing right now. You notice how I went from something as simple as my own breath or the itchiness in my body to the telepathic ear chakra. You guys see that? So it's all one for me. I'm not separating it like that is more holy. The telepathic ear chakras are more holier than the itchiness on my skin. Absolutely not. In fact, they're one of the same. And let me embrace them as the same. Let me understand that I'm here with some specific gifts and lessons. And they're not the same as everybody else. I'm here to be the flow state guy, right? That's what I've known after doing the research, after going into this line of work, after understanding this for many years. And that's what I've chosen, and that's what I've become. You were chosen because you chose to be. End of story. Don't let these YouTube videos come in like, you are the chosen one, beloved. You are the one, you are the... That's just grandiose, self-aggrandizement. They're just boosting up your, validation. You don't need more validation. You need appreciation. You need appreciation. What's the difference between validation and appreciation? Appreciation expands, validation shrinks your power. Validation keeps you in the same spot because your ego feels validated, and then you don't feel like improving anything or changing anything or switching anything around or understanding it from a different lens because you're already validated, right? What's the point? If I got validated day after day after day about my looks, I wouldn't worry about it anymore, right? Oh, what do I look like in this light? Is this cooler to do it like this? I don't care, right? Anymore. It's like how you see me is how you see me. Because I've been constantly barraged by compliments from random people, strangers, people who don't even know me. You don't even know me and you're making a compliment, right? But that's the thing, that's the beauty of this thing. And that's how you understand when somebody's a hater, right? There's something lacking or missing in them that they're recognizing in you, and then they're blasting at you. That guy's a little bit too free, and I'm stuck in this dead-end job, so I'm gonna make fun of them. That guy's a little too playful. And I have to be serious every day because this world is a serious place and I'm an academician. It's important to establish myself as an authority. The paradox is the more you try to establish yourself as an authority, the less you are an authority. An authority just is. You know your shit. You don't have to prove it. You don't need your certifications and a doctorate to prove it. You are that. You already are that. Okay? Now, I'm not saying don't go and be a doctor, don't go and be a lawyer, don't go and follow some path that brings you a lot of money. I'm not saying that at all. In fact, I'm encouraging it with this video because I'm saying to you that that stuff is important too, and it's just as spiritual, in fact. Okay? I work with these people all the time, man. You know? Influencers, lawyers, trailblazers, people in different walks of life, okay? Athletes, actors I've worked with before. I've worked with so many different kinds of people that I now understand we all deal with the same things, right? The guy who's a Navy SEAL and the guy who is, you know, preparing for his exam has the same level of anxiety. Okay? It's just different for them. Of course, it's to varying degrees. But it's the same damn thing. So as a practitioner, as a counselor, as a positive psychologist, as I see more and more and more and more stories that reaffirm this truth, that we're all human, we all make mistakes, we all have fuck-ups. But what's really important is that we get back to our truth, get back to our dharma, our flow again, and stay in this middle path, in this line. We allow ourselves to take the grace of the Ascended Masters and the grit and the ferocity of the Asuras and bring it together to create such an epic echo chamber of an authentic being that nothing can stop you or get in your way. Okay? And my guides listening to me right now, as they're hearing this, as I'm feeling into this vibration right now, I just gotta tell you, stay legendary. May you never be the same again. May the flow be with you. I will see you next time. Peace.